I'm live. I'm alive. Let me exit that out. Hi, everybody. Been a crazy day. Crazy day. I was just talking to the ladies at our little social time, and I was telling them about really seems like I'm always working and I'm not getting a whole lot done. Um, yeah. What am I doing? So you'll notice that I put up some new stuff in the group. First of all, welcome everybody. It's so nice to see everyone. Oh, I just want to go to Facebook actually. I'm having to Zoom. I used to like to go live, but now whenever I go live, it acts up. So I can't go live. It acts up. Nope, that's me on Facebook. I'm watching myself. Okay. Hey, Keiko and Mary. Hi, Debbie. Oh, hi, Debbie. Oh, Lord, love a duck. See, tell you, losing my mind. Thanks, everybody. I always enjoy having everybody here so much. It means a lot to me that you will spend your time with me. I feel like I'm at a prayer group now for some reason. Anyway, so I did not know what I was going to do today. I was over at Deb Antonik's and I was saying, oh, I got to get home. I have like 2 hours to get something done for today's lesson. And so anyway, she'd given me a couple of things to do, ideas, a couple of surfaces. And I thought, oh yeah, got home and I'm looking, I'm going, oh, I can do this on this and this on that. And then I realized that I only had one of each. And with only one of each, I couldn't do it and then show you how to do it because I only had one of each. So then I had to come up with another plan. And I have all this beautiful lavender. I have a lot of lavender plants in my yard and I dry it every year. So I thought, I've been wanting to use it. And so I thought, well, let's, come up with something. And I love green and lavender together. I think it looks so pretty. So, and then I knew I had all these garden stakes. And I thought, I could make a fence. And that is how I came up with this Mother's Day one. And what's really nice about it is, isn't it pretty? It's just so pretty. It's easy to do. If you want to do something besides the lavender, you can just change the ribbon of the colors a little bit. But there's right on, I think about my mom on here on the tag. Yeah, right on the tag. It just turned out really sweet. And yeah, I really like it. And it's easy to do, ladies. You can all do it. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Vicki. Hey, Darlene. And you'll notice that I put some new stamps up and stencils in the group. I will be ordering more, but there is a limited supply right now. So if you're interested, should get one. I have not opened it up in the other group yet. I'll see how it does in this one and then I'll open it up in the other group. So I released the boot, the bee. So those have all been shipped unless you've ordered them recently, but those were all shipped. And that is for May, April, May. So, and I had another ornament I still had to do. We did, April was the envelope. We did that one last week. May is the boot. And June, so I had June to do. So I did hot cocoa. That's this one. Adorable little hot cocoa. I actually still think I'm going to put I think my camera's a little, is that right or the other way? I'm looking at the thing. Making sure the camera's at the right angle here. I think I'm gonna put a little kind of a Bowie thing on the handle. But anyway, this is the new one. This is the new release. Hot cocoa ornament. It's got a little hangy thing. And I'm gonna put it up in the website tonight. So that is going to be one of our Christmas ornaments that's still to be done. What else? What else do I have to tell you? Hi, Darlene. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Diane. I think that's it. I don't think I had a whole lot to tell you. I am going away in May. I'm going away the week of the 6th, so 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pre-record it. I'm going to record it and just put it up that way. And so that you don't miss a lesson at all. But I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this one so easy and so cute, ladies. Cannot wait to show you what to do. So let me flip this down. And I'm sure I'm going to have to twist it around and do this. Okay, what is all over my hand? Okay, so we're doing this one. Really like, I'm just going to lift this up a bit because I do not have to be that close in this. Move this out of the way. That over there. This is the one we're doing. I'm going to get a little piece of wax paper. So I used the garden stakes to make the ladder. You get these little Dollarama, I don't even know, 4, 6, 8, there are 10 of them. You could tell it 10 of them for $1.50. They were really inexpensive. And anybody can, I mean, you can get these at any of the dollar stores, probably the hardware stores too, but I think the dollar stores are probably the cheapest. You can make yours as wide as you want. These are approximately my ladder, my ruler here. 9.5. They're about 9 1/4. It's about 9 1/4 inches long. These are. You can make them shorter or longer. Add more side or joining. You know, the ones that join the posts together. So these have to be cut, but these are, I tell you, these are so easy to cut. I just use scissors to cut this with, and then maybe give it a really quick little sanding if it happens to go a little wonky. And I'm just going to use one as my guide to do the others. These are regular scissors. These are more heavy duty scissors, but do this. We're just going to cut these to the right length. I could have had these done ahead of time. Really, I had no time to do them ahead of time. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to just sand these edges of the edge of this. Kind of like my edges to be, you know, half decent looking. So sometimes when you cut them, you'll get little splits at the very bottom. So I'm just going to give that a light little sand. And then these, I need 2 of the pieces that are going to join the post. And these are approximately, let's see, I'm just gonna cut both of these this length. I had cut them a little bit longer and then I decided to make them just a little bit shorter. I'm waiting for Deb Antonik to come on and go, why aren't you doing what I gave you? Well, Deb. You don't have to, because this is a rusty looking fence, you do not have to, you know, make sure this is perfect. It's not supposed to be. I'm gonna throw this piece of wax paper. Get all the dust off of it so that I can paint these up properly. I'll move this over to the side a little bit. There is actually a right side and a wrong side to these. So I'm gonna paint all of these oatmeal. If you don't have oatmeal and you like the color, you can use celery green, just lighten it up a little bit with some bleach sand or some warm white. I think I'm gonna just get a little bit of this and lift this up a bit. This would be in the way so much, feeling me. Oh. That. Okay, I'm just going to, this is the oatmeal. Squirt out some. And I'm probably gonna do 2 coats of this, depending on how well the first coat goes on. Yep. Brushes. Thinking I took all my brushes upstairs when I finished this and washed them and I left them all upstairs. Of those ones, so I'll use a different thing. Do I want to use? I want the brushes I left upstairs. I'm gonna go upstairs and get the brushes, ladies, because it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't have the right ones. So I'll just be a sec. I brushes up here that I want. I'm back. I wanted to use Chris's brushes because I love using them for base coating. So I'm going to use, I use Chris's, this is her Spectacular Stencil brushes, and I love these for base coating. So I'm just going to base coat all of this, these in oatmeal. And I'm doing them on wax paper, so I don't have to worry if I go around them and it gets on anything. And you can do both sides if you like. I'm just going to do the one side today. You can do both sides. Prettify it. And I do quite a thick coat of this. And I make sure that I do down the sides too. And move these over a little bit. This really soaks up the paint. So if you're doing acrylic, this is oatmeal is the chalk paint from Folk Art. If you're using acrylic paints on these stakes, make sure you seal I would seal the surface first because this really does soak up the paint, even with the chalk paint. I'm just going to dry this off. I love create with Deb days because when we do these ones, because I usually have absolutely no idea what I'm doing until the afternoon of the day. So it really is create with Deb because I literally usually create these within hours. How long are the cross pieces? Oh, the cross pieces are da-da-da-dum, 9 1/4. So they're all 9 1/4. The fence posts are 9 1/4 and the cross pieces are 9 1/4. Now you can really see the grain through these. I just don't think that they're going to kind of hold it the way I want to because I am going to wax this and go over it. So I'm going to do another coat because I tell you these really, really do suck up the paint. Even this chalk paint gets really sucked up with these. And I'm putting on a really good coat too. You can hang this piece too if you want. I'm going to use it as just the shelf cleaner. Shelf sitters. And I'm not worrying. One of the reasons I really like using these is because they're kind of rough, they're not perfect. The sides aren't perfect. There's little pieces of wood coming off. You can see just it's a little bit rough here. Anyway, I like that about it. And I'm not going to sand the sides to make them really nice and smooth because I like the roughness of it. And when I did it, I did the sides too. I'm going to get out a clean piece of wax paper. I think this is quite gnarly, isn't it? Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Diane. I am going to wax this. See if that's dry enough. Yeah, I would say that's dry enough. I am just going to put these all beside each other. And I'm going to take my candle. I like these stumpy candles. You know what? I think I'm going to move this up a bit. I think it's down a little bit too low. A bit of that. It is a little bit low, isn't it, here? Maybe I can even lift this up a little bit more. Really do not have to be too far away for this. Okay, and then I'm just going to rub my candle over these. I'm just going to take a piece of paper towel just to make sure that there isn't any kind of excess wax that's built up there. I always like to look at it and make sure that the wax went on good. Yep, it did. Okay, so now I'm going to use bleach sand and I'm as my top coat on this. I think I'll just put a blob of it over here. And you can use warm white, you know, any of those is fine. So I am going to just pull this down. Like this. I usually try and do it all in one direction, just up and down. I need a little bit more of this. I think I'm going to add a little bit more to this. A little bit more to each one. There. And I'm going to dry this off. And get some of it off my fingers. I love waxing these pieces. I think they look so cool. And depending on how much wax and paint you put on, you can make it look different. Move this up a bit. Don't have my sister here telling me I'm off the page. So you have to make sure this is really dry before you start scraping it off. And when you dry it with the hair dryer, yes, the wax does melt a bit underneath, but I like the effect that it gives when you do that. You can see as I'm drying it and the paint is dry, but the wax, you can actually see it getting shiny on the pieces because the wax is melting under the paint. You can even get it where it kind of bubbles a little bit. Looks really cool. Oh, I think these are dry. And I'm gonna pick them up. And take my scrapey thing. I actually have a small scrapey thing, but I'm not sure where it is. And I'm gonna scrape some of this paint away. And I'm scraping lightly because I want to be able to control the amount of paint that I'm scraping off. Sometimes if you scrape too hard, you can take too much off. I like to control how much I take off. And I can come back and take off more if I want to. So again, I'm just scraping lightly. I find if I hold down and use a really just the edge, you scrape away more. If you lay it flatter, like quite flat, and do it, you get a total different look to it. So if I do more on this sharp edge, that's where it pulls a lot of paint off. If I lay it flat, it does more of the what do you call it? More of the uh, more of a worn look, not a remove the paint look. If that makes sense. So I like to do both. A little bit of remove paint and a little bit of worn look. So I'm laying this quite flat and getting more of a worn look. And now I'm taking off some of the paint with more on the edge of the paint scraper. And you can decide how much or how little you want, how much you want to scrape off, how much you just want to have worn. I think I'm gonna just give it worn look now that I've scraped some off. But always just start out just a really soft, light pressure because you can always come back and take off more. Let's get rid of that. That's really messy. I think I'm going to take a little bit more of this away. You can also sand it a bit. To take more off. Especially if you just want more off in certain spots, or if you want to smooth it out a bit. I always like to kind of go over it with the sander. Give it one light little brush off. Okay, now I'm going to build it. You can look at it. You can decide if you want to kind of sand some of the edges to distress it a little bit. I might do actually a little bit. Just kind of here and there. Just along the edge. And I'm not doing it all over. I'm just going to do some of it. Just a bit, not too much. Ow. Got a splinter. Okay, I'm just gonna take the dust off. It's liver. Okay. I'm gonna take a piece of paper towel and just wipe these. Make sure there's no dust on them. Now you can, I'm gonna glue the posts, the side posts or the little sidebars on. You can use, I think you can probably use your hot glue gun. I use this. And I lined them all up. How far apart I wanted them. And about where I wanted them. They don't have to be exact. You don't have to do, you know, everything does not have to be exactly perfect. This is an old fence, ladies. Okay. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. Make sure this is all the same. I do kind of keep it at the, even at the bottom. I got a bump right here, right in the middle of my table. Okay. Now I'm going to just squiggle on a bit of glue onto here. I'm going to glue this on about here. I take a bit of glue seeping out, so I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to hold this for a minute. So I have this bump here, which drives me crazy, actually. And turn it this way. And that way I can keep it nice and even. Make sure that I have these right. And you can sit there and measure each one and make sure that they're perfectly even, everything is absolutely perfect. You know, I like things perfectly imperfect, so I'm okay with not doing that. I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. And then I'm going to move this up a little bit. Do it about here. I want to look at this and make sure that I am the right distance. So I'm just going to hold this for a minute. I actually laid a book on this afternoon when I did it to make sure that everything that it stayed and glued really good because my table bent in the middle. Well, I'm just going to move this over here and hold this flat. Put pressure on it like that. I actually think I want to come this way a bit actually. No, we can just chit chat for a minute while this dries. I forgot. Hello, hi, Claudia. You never forget. Never forget, Claudia. This is what we're doing today, Claudia. We're making our Mother's Day, fancy post thing. Mother's Day fancy post thing with lavender. This is real lavender from my garden. I love lavender. So pretty. It smells so nice. Now I'm thinking that it's probably glued on enough that I can put it to the side. I'm just going to put this to the side while we make the bow, and it can finish drying. Put it right there. Now I have these great fabrics. Where are they? So I used, this is almost the same as oatmeal, this color. This is gorgeous color, and it's from Jubilee Fabrics. And then this one, again, from Jubilee Fabrics. It's so pretty. So these are the two we're going to use, and then we're just some cheesecloth that I dyed. So let's grab our bow maker. Over here. And cut. I'm so much better now. Remember when I first started doing this, ladies? I always forgot to put the string in here. I don't know how I would forget, but I did all the time. And always one of you ladies, nice ladies, would say, string, string. So I did put a little bit of Excelsior in there. And then I'm going to do some of this beautiful green check. This is so pretty, this green check. And it looks so nice with the lavender. I'm gonna do 1, 2. I'll do 4 on this initial one. From that. So I have 4 on this one. And then I'm going to use this oatmeal one. Now you can iron these. I actually try to iron a lot of the ones that I give you if they get quite, because when you rip them, they can curl at the end like that. You can actually use, if you have a hair straightener, if you use a hair straightener, you can actually use that to iron these down. I think I want it a little bit wider than that. I'm going to rip a new one. I'm going to make it wider. And hope that I did this wider. He thinks it is. Okay. Put that in here and just gonna do one loop on each side of this. Cut that to make it a little bit shorter, and then I'm gonna go back. I think I'll put in a little bit of cheesecloth next. I really do just kind of wing these, make these up for whatever piece I'm designing. I think I'm gonna put some cheesecloth in next. Kind of makes it, you know, romantic-y soft. And then I'm gonna add some more, another layer of this green gingham. Or check. But again, I'm just going to do, where's my daughter FaceTiming me when she knows I have a class? Why do you think my baby is FaceTiming me? Oh, I didn't answer. I think she realized, oh yeah, mom's doing a class. She FaceTimes me, just, we talk every day, but she also FaceTimes me because Zara will all of a sudden start going, Nana, Nana, Nana. So she FaceTimes me right away so that I can, hear her. Calling me. So cute. Okay. And we're going to try this up. And just tie this into a knot. Pull it out. Get rid of that. Then we have this really pretty bow. Isn't that pretty? Excuse me. Rink. So I'm just going to put this aside for a sec. Bring our ladder back. Our ladder. Now I'm going to just take a little bit of Distress ink, and I'm going to use frayed burlap. And I'm just going to do a little bit on the edges, just here and there. I use a brush too. I don't know which one do I want. Get this one. I'm going to just kind of go along these edges. And this is with frayed burlap. You can use Hauser medium green, plantation pine if you want it a little bit darker. Any of those will work just fine. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the distressing here and there on this. But these are like, I just wanted to show you what you can do with just some things that are so easy to find. Easy to find and easy to make. Make sure when you distress it that these are all glued really good. They can separate if they're not. Okay, I'm gonna put this away. And then I splattered this because I thought it looked really cool with, where's my color here? I used lavender from DecoArt. I just put it over here. I'm just gonna grab it. So I used lavender from DecoArt and I splattered this with it. Just really adds a little something to it. Oh, let's grab one of my brushes here. Tell you that little sliver made its way quite firmly. And I just splattered this. And you can do as much or as little. It's everybody's own taste, how much you put on. Put the purple on here. This really kind of brought it all together, I thought. I was talking to Deanna this afternoon when I was finishing this off. I said, wonder if I should splatter it. And she goes, is it really a Deb Mishima project if it isn't splattered? Went, yeah, you're right. So I love how the splatter looks on it. So pretty. Now I wanted to add something little where they're joined here, just to kind of, make them look like they really are joined. But of course, I'm not going to use nails or anything because they're not pretty. So I used buttons. Whoops. So I'm just going to put that there. My buttons are okay. You know what, Deanna? I'm probably going to do the where in heck are the buttons now? I kill lavender. I think I love. Yes, lavender is beautiful. You have to, yeah, lavender is beautiful. Just cut it when it's in its fullness. And I literally lay it down. I'll show you. People hang it. But I don't know if you can see this well. I just lay it down in these plastic bins and get tons of it. Oh, now buttons. Oh, here we are. Okay, so I wanted to put some buttons on here. Just to show where they're joined. And I did them in purple. Where's the brush here? A brush, any kind of brush will do. And I really wasn't worried about making sure it was completely covered. I think I'm going to add a little bit of water to this so it's a little bit more watercolory. I don't want it too dark. You just love my hands by the time I'm finished this. Sometimes I wonder I am not really just like dyed a color. I can hear myself on Facebook. I have it on just so I can make sure that I'm on screen. And I'm going to dry these, see if they blow away. I think they won't. I think they'll be good. Thank you, Claudia. I love making bows, It's so much fun. And they always look so pretty. So I love making bows. Now, I actually wanted to soften this up a bit or just not have it look so purpley. So I took a bit of the frayed burlap and I put it on and it just took away the sharpness of the lavender. See if you can see the difference between the two. Whoops. See, this one is very purpley. This one, just adding a little bit of green, it just kind of ages it and that's just by adding a little bit of this frayed burlap. And this is the oxide, I think. Oh, Distress Ink frayed burlap. But see how it just changes the color of it? I like the change in the color. I like the aging of it. Kind of like the lavender. The lavender can be quite darker, but it gets more of a gray purpley tone to it after it's dried. Okay, so I'm just going to glue these on and I'm going to use my glue gun to glue these on. And I'm going to put one in the center of each cross bar. Okay, it's like that. See how it's all starting to come together? So I'm going to actually paint the tags. So I have all these heart tags that are so pretty. I did it in, where's the color that I used? I did these in, not lilac ice, French plum, maybe it was. Oh, here it is. So I did it in, oops, what's called French lilac. Because I wanted it, I didn't want it really dark. So I did it in French lilac, which is kind of a gray purple. I love this color. It's very, very pretty. And I'm just going to use my little, I like using these for all these little pieces. Little sponges here. But it's just much softer than the lavender. So I just think it blends in a lot better than if it was the same color as the lavender, the real dark purple. I'm going to dry this off. Takes me forever to wash my hands, after I have one of these lessons. Okay, I want to. So I wrote, if you can see this well, but on this one, it says my mom. And then I stamped a couple of little flower things on it. I'm just going to grab my stamp. I used, this is the garden one that's on the website. They have these really pretty flowers here. So I'm going to use these flowers. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use Distress Oxide Antique Linen. because it's really like, you can use like buttermilk or any of those colors. I wanted to use this antique linen because I just thought it looked really pretty. And I think I'll use this one. There. So it's just to add a little bit of prettiness and softness to it. How come I'm all of a sudden the wrong way? Let me look at this. What happens if I go down? I just went a little funny. Isn't that weird? Now I'm gonna have to turn it around. Oh, heaven's sakes. I don't know why the camera did that all of a sudden. Or am I upside down now? No. Okay. And I've just wrote my mom on it. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put. So I picked up, I just use these little stamps that I have. And you can write anything, right? I just wrote my mom. M O. You can write love mom, whatever. Or you can write anything. You can write lavender kisses. I mean, it's totally up to you, right? You can write anything you want on it. Did my mom. Now I'm going to put these away and we're just going to put the bow and everything on. So I'm going to take some of this lavender. Let's get some of this out of the way here. And that, these are dirty. That. Getting a little pile around us, which I absolutely hate. That's how you get so unorganized. And I think I'm going to get rid of this. Oops. In this messy way. These. So I don't throw anything away that we need. Okay. There, now we have more room. So I'm going to take some of this beautiful lavender that I have. Now you can make the stems as long as you want. I might make these ones a little bit shorter than I made the ones that I did initially. See what it looks like, just a little bit shorter. And I literally just took a bunch of this and made like a little bouquet of lavender. Here, maybe a couple more. So yes, ladies, do not throw your lavender away if you have lavender in your garden. And there's lots of different varieties of lavender too. Now I'm going to just take a little piece of string and tie this together. Okay. Rid of all these little pieces. Now I'm just gonna kind of spread it out a little bit. Oh, this is really. I think I'm gonna just put it like that. I'm gonna glue this on here. Just gonna hold that down, kind of spread this out a little bit. Bring some of these down. Kind of arrange it however you'd like. Just gonna hold that for a minute here. And we're gonna take the bow and put it right on here. Tell you, sometimes these are my favorite classes, ladies, where I just kind of do these things, the spur of the moment, you know, spur of the moment, a little bit later than I should be. And hold that for a minute. Sure it stays on. Switch that down. Holding this, I want to make sure that it stays down really good. Then I added a little bit of Sweet Annie under it. Oh, let's grab one. I'm just gonna take some little pieces of Sweet Annie. Kind of gather them there at the end. Oops, come here. Just gonna switch it under here. Like adding a little bit of that green from the Sweet Annie in here too. And I think I'll do a little bit over here. In here. Going this way. And then I took the tag. And I just added a little string to it. I didn't want to glue it directly to that. And add a little glue to that. I'll have it coming this way to the side. And then I took another button. I think I'll use the same one, I think. And I just used the green this time. So this is a frayed burlap, and I just rubbed it on the button. And I didn't use a really big button. I didn't want to overpower this. So just while that's drying, I'm going to get a little bit more cheesecloth. And I want to put it right here. Cheesecloth just, I think, looks really good in the center of these buttons, of these bows. Right at the top. And I just take a piece that's all kind of ripped and it's not completely uneven. So when you get it, you might get some cheesecloth and you think, what in heck am I doing with this? And that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be just kind of worn and ripped. And see, I'm going to just rip it some more. And I'm just going to kind of gather it in the middle. Like that. Little glue right in the center of the bow. Like that, just kind of spread that out a little bit. Wish my sister was watching. She would be so impressed that I did not spend half an hour on this little green bow. Because she says I take way too long with my bows. Oops, I'm going to glue this little button on. Oh, turn that back on. There. And that is all there is to it. My mom, I think I'm going to just cut this a little bit. I like to keep them trimmed. And then I always fray the edges. You can do it with your finger, you can do it with scissors if you want. Cut this excess off. We don't need that here. Yes. I'm going to cut this and scooch it in so it's a little lower. I'm going to do this. Same thing with this. There. So there we are. So see, it's really, I mean, this is so easy to do. I can't believe that I just thought of this and did it in an hour. Did. So here we are. It's just a little picket fence using these garden stakes, these cheap little garden stakes from well, we got it from I got it from our dollar store. And you know, just some dried flowers and then made a bow. It's so easy to do, but it's just so pretty. I'm going to use this as a shelf sitter. This just a little bit because, you know, I need to. There. So that's it. So this is our, my mom, little, shelf sitter that I made. And again, you can hang it if you want, but put little holes in it and you can hang it. But just, you can use things that you have around. You don't have to use dried lavender. You can use any dried flower. You can use plastic. But they're just so pretty and so soft. The two of them. I'm just gonna come back up to me. Probably upside down. Am I upside down? No, I'm not. Okay. Shocker. But probably need my face. You know. So yeah, our pretty little shelf sitter, my mom. I really like this. I think they just turned out so sweet. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., I'm going to be do Summer Bees. Hope you can join me tomorrow. It's in Deb Paints Whimsy, not this group. So Deb Paints Whimsy, 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Sitting in Denver Airport, nice surprise. Oh, hi, Pam. Oh, you're in Denver. Are you on your way home or, you know? Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Darlene. Why did you become a rectangular? What's a rectangular? I do not know what she means. It always amazes me that you wear long sleeves. Oh, Claudia, are you kidding me? I usually have paint up my sleeves. I'm serious, I really do. Yeah, so anyway, so this is our little project today, Create with Deb. Tomorrow again, 9 a.m. Pacific time for Summer Bees in Deb Paints Whimsy. Hope you can join me. Thanks everybody for coming tonight. I appreciate it so much. Would be very lonely if I had to do these all by myself. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. If not, it'll be next week. Next week we are doing the bee project, I believe it is. So I'll be putting up the instructions for it. But thanks everybody for joining me, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.